Lakewood means rewind, a gunshot means forward. You requested it, so we rewind.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's at USFJ Rain, editor-in-chief of my magazine. I'm sitting here with the SneakerQue, our head media correspondent and sneaker collector. As you can see, he got a lot of shit going on, stuff going on over there. I edited that out. But SneakerQue, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you taking the time out, man, to interview me.
All right, so like I'm gonna start with the basics then. Like, what is a sneakerhead?
I mean, there's plenty definitions of what a sneakerhead is, I think. I mean, some people think just because you buy a bunch of shoes, you're a sneakerhead. But I think a lot of the sneaker enthusiasts, you know what I'm saying, like myself, and like the people that I associate myself with, or, you know, people that I know in general, they all say a sneakerhead is somebody that actually like lives, breathes sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who like, it's not about just wearing the shoes. You know what I mean? You got a lot of different sneakerheads. They buy the shoes to wear. You got a lot of collectors. They'll buy the shoes just to, you know what I'm saying, collectors valuable or whatever. Like me personally, a lot of the shoes here, man, like this is nowhere near my collection. But like a lot of these shoes are kind of like rare 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13 years old shoes within this pile and stuff like that. So I think, and some of them aren't even worn, you know, so I think a sneakerhead is somebody that just live, eat, sleep sneakers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about buying sneakers and then wearing them, you know what I'm saying? Because some people think that's like the biggest thing, but it really ain't.
So if I go to Foot Locker right now with like 10 grand, buy a whole bunch of shoes, what would I be considered?
Hype beast, we know about you. Don't buy shoes unless they pop.
That's what's up, man. So I see you got a lot of different Jordans and everything over there too. So like, to be a sneakerhead is more than just Jordans. It's like Air Max and everything else, or?
Well, yeah. It's, trust me, man. But I'll tell you what, I got in, and I brought a lot of Jordan out because I mean, pretty much any legit sneakerhead that you talk to, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even like calling myself a sneakerhead. I like calling myself a sneaker enthusiast. Someone who just loves sneakers. I love shoes. It doesn't matter what kind of shoes, but like I love sneakers as well. You know what I'm saying? That start from like a little boy. But Jordan is what pretty much puts shoes on the map. You know what I'm saying? People weren't really buying shoes until Michael Jordan came out. You know what I'm saying? Like they had Converse, they had Chuck Taylors, they had all those different shoes. But Jordan is what reinvented the sneaker game, the sneaker culture. So every sneakerhead, it started with a pair of Jordans. I'm pretty sure, I'm willing to bet that a lot of sneakerheads, their first pair of shoes was a pair of Jordans. If not, some type of Nike brand shoe.
All right, so since we're talking about basketball right now and Jordan, so let these PEs, these playoff edition shoes or whatever, I see it's a lot of people on the courts right now with Jordans on, but like they're different colors that's not available to the public. How does that work?
Well, it's called player exclusives, like Air Jordan PEs. I know like some of my favorite PEs by Mike Bibby, former Atlanta Hawk, Joe Johnson has some dope PEs. I think all time Ray Allen has the dopest PE collection. And PEs just it's called player exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like the Nike brand, Jordan brand, they make the shoes exclusively for the player. You know, that makes sense. In that particular colorway, their jerseys or anything like that. So that's what the whole P stands for. So and those aren't like you can just go pick those up from the market or anything like that. The only way you would probably be able to buy them is if somebody, a friend of a friend, know one of the NBA players, he hand them off to them and he decided to sell them on eBay. That's the only way that somebody, a random person, can get their hand on a pair of player exclusives.
All right, so here we go. I'm not a sneaker enthusiast at all. I don't even have a pair of Jordans. Last pair of Jordans I had, I was like probably 12 or 13 back before my foot grew. But looking at these shoes now, it's like, okay, how do I even go about getting a pair? Because it's like I wear a common size, so like when I go to Foot Locker or whatever, they either all sold out or I gotta wait in line, and then it's still hard to get them. So how would me, if I wanted a pair of shoes right now, how would I even go about getting some?
Well, I mean, you can go buy a pair of shoes any day, you know what I'm saying? But like certain shoes, they don't last an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like a Jordan release, Foamposite, you know, a LeBron, a Kobe, certain shoes, hype shoes, you have to be in line 7, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning just to be able to get a ticket to buy the shoes. So, you know what I'm saying? But certain shoes, you can always go buy them. But like a lot of exclusive player shoes, You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real hard to get them nowadays because everybody buys shoes now. Everybody, from the little kid to the mama to the daughter to the son to everybody. Everybody buys shoes. That's why I say like the sneaker game now is just it's not like what it used to be. And you can ask anybody like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
So when did it go? When did it turn that way? How did like what happened?
I'm gonna tell you, and maybe somebody might disagree, but I think I had this talk with a bunch of different people. I think the sneaker game changed for the worse in 2009. I think 2009 when the Space Jam 11s came out, infamous from the movie Space Jam. MJ wore that shoe right there. And I think it was crazy. Like I remember like being in Charleston, and like it was like crazy, man. People were just breaking down the gates just for that shoe, man. And I think 2009 when that Space Jam 11 came out, Christmas of 2009, that's when the sneaker game went crazy. And ever since then, everybody in their mind was trying to buy a shoe.
Why was that shoe so popular?
I mean, obviously, man, a lot of things too. All you got to do, Nike brand is probably like the best brand ever at just dabbing something to just make it exclusive. Space Jams, okay, obviously from the movie Space Jams. You know, Hair 7s from Bugs Bunny, Hair 7s. So I mean, I think with that shoe, because the last time it released, I can't remember when the last time it released, but when it released, people just were going so crazy over because they wanted the shoe. You know what I'm saying? They wanted the shoe so bad, and then that's pretty much, and that shoe 11 with the patent leather, arguably the greatest shoe of all time. You know what I'm saying? The greatest number Jordan, just because it was like the first of its kind with all the patent leather. You know what I'm saying? Midsole and gum bottom and all that stuff like that. It was just the first of its kind. So anytime a Jordan like that come out, a Retro 11 come out, it's bound to cause trouble.
So do you know the history behind just about every one of those shoes over there?
Pretty much. How
important is that?
It's like,
consider the how important?
I mean, it's really important. I mean, I like that, and it's, you know, it's kind of like a poor man's comparison, but I think I compare it to being in a frat, pretty much, and I am in a frat. And you got, you know what I'm saying? It's like you said, if you had $10,000, you go buy a bunch of shoes, would you be considered a sneakerhead? No. To somebody who really knows you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like being in a frat, you know, pledging in comparison to, you know, just taking a test and just becoming becoming a member. So, I mean, you have to know history behind whatever it is you're involved with. So, I mean, with these shoes, you want to at least know the year release, you know, whether it's a first run retro, second run retro, whether it's original colorway, whether it's a retro plus colorway, you know what I'm saying, whether it's a player exclusive, you know, did Michael Jordan actually wear it on court? You know, different stuff like that you probably want to know. You know what I'm saying? As being like a sneaker enthusiast. And I think that's what makes a sneaker enthusiast, because they actually go and look in depth and just not just the shoe, but just the whole doggone nature and history behind the shoe. Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know like Tinker and all those guys, man, they had stories behind the different shoes. Like, certain shoes were behind it, were doggone made, you know what I'm saying, inspired by Ferrari. MJ loved Ferraris. So different things like that you gotta know just by being a sneakerhead.
All right, so you know, you gave me the option to actually go through your closet. I saw so many pair of Jordans, they didn't make no sense. But I also noticed like a lot of those shoes, it was the same style, I guess, but like they were different box colors. Explain that.
Okay, different box colors. That's years. Like a lot of the Jordans these days, like you see, I got some black boxes. I got some brown boxes with red with still Nike on it, but they're Jordans. You got the Jordan face boxes. So with Jordans and with Nike brand and Jordan brand, they started changing the boxes. As years goes on, the technology of the box got a little bit more thicker, or things changed and stuff like that. So like I know, like with those shoes right there, it has the Jordan face box. It has like Mike's face like imprinted into in the box. You know what I'm saying? I think those right there, the Forest Green 14s released 2005. Then you go to like a regular Jordan box, like this regular Jordan got like the regular like Nike Jordan symbol on the front, you know, and face box. What I was telling you about, like Mike's face imprinted in the box, you know. And with these, this is original box. You know what I'm saying? This shoe is a original Air Jordan. This shoe older than pretty much a lot of people that's probably gonna be viewing this video. You know what I'm saying? Like flu game 12.
So what's it about? Oh, you said the flu game?
Flu, infamous for MJ playing in the flu game. Take the shoe. Golly. 16, 17-year-old shoe right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know, if I'm not mistaken, my math are wrong. Like, I wasn't good at math. That's why I talk. But this, 98, 97, 98, 2008. Yeah, 15, 16-year-old shoe right here, man. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about some of the value on some of these shoes. Like I said, sometimes like when I'm waiting in line for them, they go and I'm like, oh, okay, but then like you log on eBay or whatnot, you know, they charge like a ridiculous amount. So let's talk about that.
All right, now that Jordan right there, that's original color. That's original Air Jordan. So right now, eBay value probably like, well, with those are a lot easier to find than some of the other originals. So I'll say probably like about 5, 6. You can, if at a good condition like that, you probably find a dead stock pair box and everything like that, $500-$600.
For those who don't know what dead stock means, go ahead and explain that to them.
All right, dead stock's pretty much brand new. You know what I'm saying? Never worn, never tried on, never, you know what I'm saying? Never worn, never touched American soil, pretty much. You know, just been in the box, still factory released and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes from dead stock to good condition to excellent to, you know what I'm saying? They like a lot of, like I know, like I was real big a couple years back in Soul Collector. So like selling on a marketplace, you know, people wanted to know what's the condition of the shoe. So you go from 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 being actually dead stock, 9 out of 10 near dead stock, you know, stuff like that. So that's how sneakerheads communicate and that's how they talk.
Hey, and that's going to determine the price.
Yeah, that's going to determine the price ultimately because certain people don't want to buy a shoe that if it's not brand new.
So how hard is it to spot out the fakes? So like for normal people like me, I promise you I wouldn't even be able to tell. Like somebody give me a pair of shoes right now and they say it's Jordans, I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's easy for me. Like a lot of guys that I hang with, like you know what I'm saying, like on like as far as sneaker wise, it's so easy to spot fakes. Like I'm gonna tell you, like with the phone posit, it's so easy to spot fakes. The shoe don't even look the same. It's like it's the poorest quality made on a phone posit. So if you see a phone posit and you compare a fake phone posit to an actual real phone posit, it's like a splitting difference, man. It's like a splitting difference.
So would you tell that person, hey, you got on some fake shoes? Or
nah, that's not my place, man. I'm definitely not that type of guy, man. Like I'm just like fortunate, like you know, it's just something that I've been doing since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I never forget, like. Everybody got a background story of how they started with sneakers. Like I had an older cousin, man, Daniel, in the neighborhood. He's 2 years older than me. Always used to get the fresh pair of kicks. Always used to get a fresh pair of kicks. This was back like 96, well not like 97, 98. You know what I'm saying? I think I was like 7th, 8th grade. They always used to have fresh kicks, you know, and I'm like, dang, man, like I want the kicks too. And then we started, you know, once I got into high school and, you know, I kind of started liking shoes. When I was 7th, 8th grade, and then, you know what I'm saying, but they always was so expensive, but he always had the fresh pair. So now I ride to school, and when he got to high school, he always had the fresh kicks, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was cool, so then I was like, yo, I want to be like him just because, like, people like fresh kicks, and growing up where I came from, man, you know, you got to have the fresh kicks. That's, that's kind of like an expression. So, like, I started collecting, man, like, 98, 99, 2000, man, and just, like, started, like, buying shoes whenever, like, I had money. And, you know, Christmas, you know, birthdays, honor rolls, anytime I got some extra cash, graduation, stuff like that, like I spent my money on shoes.
So what was your first pair?
First pair was the retro 11s. I got a pair of retro 11s from Columbia, South Carolina. My mama bought me because I made the honor roll. That's the first pair I got, retro 11s.
So, and that just started the collection.
That's pretty much started. And I remember it was a size 6. The shoe I bought was a size 6 when I bought it. And like that's been my favorite. That's been to this day my favorite pair of shoes. At one point in time, I had 3 different pairs of that shoe. Obviously, it's the most common shoe, Air Jordan out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a lot of people say it's the best Jordan of all time. It's the black and red patent leather Jordan 11s. I had the pair from the Countdown pack. I had the 2001 pair, and I got the 2011 pair that I think the 2011, 2012, whenever the latest pair came out. But that's to this day my favorite pair of shoes. But like I got shoes here, man. I think another thing too though, what I say what separates like certain sneakerheads, people that actually really love the culture and love sneakers, is that every shoe has a story behind it, man. Every shoe that I pretty much got a story behind it, or a story created in my mind that it means something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Speaking of the culture, you know, like I said, you open up a whole new world for me. And then I remember we went to that sneaker convention or whatever. It was something like one I had never heard of something like that. But then when you took me, it was like, it's not just one group. It's not just, you know, black people in the shoes like that. Like you got all different kind of races, and then it's like it really is a community within itself. So like, talk about that a little bit.
Man, you right, man. It just ain't like, it ain't no white, black. Man, you got Filipino, you got black, you got white, you got Chinese. And like, I know, like, I got like a bunch of Chinese friends, man, that are real big into the sneaker game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where Jordan is manufactured at. You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot, man. It's a culture, man. Like, it ain't just no one race that's in the sneakers, man. Everybody sneakers, man. You go to these events, man. You will see everybody from the 40, 50-year-old guy that been collecting shoes back 20, 30 years ago, to the little kid that still ain't even doggone in high school yet, but he walking around trying to buy shoes, trying to sell shoes at $400 or $500.
And I also noticed everybody there was pretty much a nice little environment. Everybody was pretty nice, or it was pretty laid back and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's a cult. It's, you know, everybody. The main goal is to buy, sell, and trade sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So people there, you know, trying to work deals, trying to cut deals, trying to meet people, network, and stuff like that. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, and this is a true story. I've met some cool people through the sneaker game, man. Like, cool people. And I think the connection that you build is like, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. I'm from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I just recently moved to Atlanta, Georgia. So when you compare South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, man, look, it's light years different, because a lot of the people out here, a lot of the stores, they get like all the shoes. In South Carolina, certain shoes didn't even come to South Carolina at all. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to these different events, you out there networking with people like, oh man, hey man, my name's such and such, I'm from South Carolina. You know, oh, okay, yeah, I live in Atlanta, I live in LA, I live in New York. Okay, yeah, man, well shoot, man, if these don't come here, I'll reach out to you, I can transfer you the money, you can grab an extra pair for me. And then that's when the relationships are built. Like, I know for sure, like, that shoe right there, like, obviously the Hair 7s just released this past weekend. I got a pair of those. I didn't even buy the new pair because I had a pair from the Countdown pack a few years back. But that pair right there is the Year of the Rabbit 7s. Highly anticipated release. You know, it came in a different type of box, like the box and packaging and everything was different. I can't remember what the retail price of those was, but it was pretty expensive. And I remember I graduated. I was graduating May 5th, 2011, I think, when those came out, and I wanted those to be my graduation gift. They didn't even come to South Carolina. I remember being in the car the night before and the morning of, trying to log on eBay, Eastbay, to try to order that shoe, and I couldn't get it. Couldn't get it, man. Like, when that stuff happens, man, it's hard to buy shoes. I've been collecting shoes for years, over 10 plus years, 10, 11 years now, and like, I've never worn an online shoe, like actually like buy a shoe online when it came out. You know what I'm saying? But that shoe, I remember, goes back to connections. I called a buddy of mine that I met through Soul Collector, which is, you know, it's like an online site where sneakerheads connect pretty much. And I called him up. I was like, hey bro, like, man, like, what can you do for me? I need them Year of the Rabbit 7s. We did a lot of business together, you know what I'm saying? You know, talk. He was like, all right, I'll see what I can do. Called me up. You know what I'm saying? A couple days later, hey, bro, I got your size. You know what I'm saying? They were size 10.5. I wear a size 10. He was like, I got 10.5. What you want? I was like, I want them. Gave me a good price on them. Wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Probably like after they released, probably they went up another $150 in retail and resale value. But he called me. You know, we did business together. We already built a relationship. He said, I got you. Gave me a good price. Sent him the money. PayPal the money. Shoes came within like next 3 or 4 days, man. And that's just the power of just the sneaker community.
That is love, man. It's like the Facebook of tennis shoes.
Pretty much, man. Pretty
Shout
much.
out to Soul Collector.
For real.
All right, so I log on Instagram or whatever. Then I see cause that's when I really started to see the sneaker community like live in action or whatever. Then I'm seeing a lot of quote unquote custom shoes. I see a lot of people, they have like certain shoes, but then like, I don't know, they either painting them or they cutting them up and they doing something, and then they was like, yo, check out my custom kit. How do you feel about those?
I mean, a lot of people like the custom shoes. A lot of people don't. Like, I got mixed reviews from like friends and stuff, like as far as the sneaker game. Like some people like the customs because I think with the custom is like one-on-one where you can have your own individual shoe.
You're the only one that got it.
Yeah, you the only one got it. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some people that be like, oh man, like I don't like it. It just takes away from the Jordan, takes away from this, that, and third. So it's kind of like mixed reviews. Like I only got one pair of custom, man. Like this pair right here. My custom SneakerQue Q Dog phones, man. Like a buddy of mine, shout out to JC Will from Houston. You know what I'm saying? We actually grew up together in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? He's an engineer. You know, also do this on the side. And I sent him. I had a pair of shoes. These were the all-white phones. I released it a few years back. And I called him up, and I was like, bro, I got a dope idea I want to do for custom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really big into custom, but I know I want to do a custom shoe. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, you know what I'm saying, being a Q, you know what I'm saying, part of a fraternity, Mega Psi Phi fraternity, you know, we wear gold, purple and gold. So we wear gold boots. We wear gold boots. And like, so I was like, yo, I want to make a gold shoe. So he was like, all right, so what you got in mind? I was like, yo, I got these white phones. I won once. I want to get them custom. And he was like, all right, let's do it. So I was like, yo, I want them all gold, and I want the bottom purple. So he sent me a bunch of different like a bunch of different designs and stuff that he came up with. And I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I was like, if you do this right, man, I guarantee these shoes will be big. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be big. And he was like, yo, I got you. And I never forget, man, like he sent me the prototype of the shoe. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. So I put them in the mail, sent them out to Houston. And I got them probably back like maybe a week or two later. And I remember getting them out the box. I was like, yo, this is it. And he, you know, he had the Q Dog emblem. You know what I'm saying, the fraternity letters right here on the front. He had my line name in there, what year I crossed, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly like how I wanted it. And I was like, yo. So I immediately went and posted them on Instagram. Bruh. When I tell you, man, that shoe went viral, dog. Like, I think I probably had like 100 likes in like 5-10 minutes. And it was like, you know, and it went viral. Like, I think I ended up having like 500-600 likes on that pic. And like people, like fraternity brothers, people that was like, yo, where you get those from, man? Like, how can I get a pair? How can I get a pair? And that, you know what I'm saying, they were one-on-one. I was probably the only person in the fraternity, you know what I'm saying, with that shoe. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew the concept I had in my head. I was like, all right, this is how I want to do it. And he killed it, man. So shout out to my homeboy Jared, man, you know, out in Houston. He definitely killed that. And like, people been still to this day, every time I post, I wore them a few weeks back. Like, I had celebrated 5 years in a frat, and I wore them, and people was like, still like, yo, where can I get a pair? Where can I get a pair? And I'm like, you know, but I wasn't selfish though. I was telling him, I was like, yo, just hit my boy up. This was the prototype, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, anybody can still go do the custom, you know. But I just still wanted to be the first one. You know, to this day, nobody can say like, oh man, like that was my idea. Like that was actually my idea. Like, it was my idea. I killed it, and then everything else after that is just probably be behind me. So that's why I looked at it like that.
So is that shoe the reason for your name, SneakerQue?
No, I mean,
or did it help it at least? Or
yeah, I think
when did it originally start?
I think it did help it, or pretty much. I think I don't know. It just came from I needed a name on Soul Collector. Like when I first got on Soul Collector, I was like, all right, cool. I was like, all right, okay. I was still enthused about being in the fraternity, so pretty much every time, you know, everything that you put on Instagram, whatever, you wanted to show that you was a Q. So I was like, all right, so like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, SneakerQue. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, that's perfect. So then I just used that as my Soul Collector name. And then like, man, I was booming on Soul Collector. Like people was hitting me up, and you know, I was like, okay. And I was meeting people that was like, oh, you a Q? I'm a Q too, this, that, and the third. And I was just meeting random people. And I just stuck with it. And then when I was so late creating an Instagram account. I was so late compared to everybody else. Because I think I had like a Droid, and you couldn't have that was before the Droid. When I finally got my new Droid, that's when I could able to download the Instagram app. So I was so late with getting the Instagram, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just use the name SneakerQue, and then like, you know, that's what, you know, 5-6 years later, I guess, I still SneakerQue. So,
all right, so how many pair of shoes do you have? Roughly.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't even know how much this is. This is like just like some, you just told me you want like some rare pairs that I know ain't too many people you gonna walk around Atlanta or walk around in general with some of these shoes, you know what I'm saying, because they so old, you know what I'm saying, but still in excellent condition. I'll say, man, if I had to guess, I'll probably say maybe 250, maybe 200, 250. I think, man, probably more than that. It just depends. I still got some couple pairs back in South Carolina. So I don't know, man. Roughly between 250 maybe. You know, if I had to legitimately guess.
All right, and then for those like me who don't have a lot of pair of Jordans, I've seen that in the boxes it has like little cards or whatever in them. What are those?
All right, there's some of these right here, man. I got posted like back in the day, man, like early 2000s, late 2000s. Jordan brand with whatever number Jordan it was, whether it was a Retro 1, Retro 2, Retro 3, Retro 4, Retro 5, they put cards in it. You know what I'm saying? The card was like a picture of Mike, you know what I'm saying, wearing the particular shoe that you were buying. And then in the middle it had like the card, highlighted on the thing where you could see what shoe you was buying. And then it had all the rest of the Jordans that you were buying at the time, you know what I'm saying? Or, all the rest of the number Jordans so you can kind of keep up. So like I always like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I can be doing this a long time because like I still have all my cards. All of them, you know what I'm saying? From Retro 3, Retro 10. Some of them I got like double and triples of the cards because like I was buying the same shoe but just different colors and they'll send the different same cards and stuff like that.
All right. So I think that just about wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I think I'm good, man. It's just a few pairs like I think that means something special to me. Like, and I think like one thing I think, that we didn't tab on too is with the reselling of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's real big because a lot of people doing it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people making a lot of money off doing it. But like certain shoes, like I've sold shoes, I've bought shoes off people, I've sold shoes to different people. But like certain shoes I would never sell. And I'm gonna tell you, like this one particular shoe right here. This is like, man, like this is not my favorite Jordan, but it's like my top 3. This shoe. Man, dog, this shoe brings back so many memories. Like 2004, Christmas of 2004. That's like how many years is that from now? 11 years. 11-year-old shoe, like still to this day, still looks great. That's when I was wearing a 9.5. So this is 9.5. I never forget. I don't think I got anything else for Christmas. I got these shoes, and I never forget the Sunday before school started back. My mom gave me the money. My brother took me to Hibbett Sports in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and I bought this shoe. And to this day, and that's why I vowed to myself I was gonna never dog this shoe out, and this shoe always gonna, because up until that point, this was the most money my mama ever gave me, and I ever paid for a pair of sneakers.
And how much was it?
$156. 150. Now, if you get a pair of Jordans for $156, now you came up, nigga. We made it. You know what I'm saying? But up until that point, man, back in 2004, $156 to get you a pair of retro shoes, and that was after tax and everything.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. When Jordan was actually playing, how much were the shoes then?
But it just depends on what type. It depends on what shoe was, because I know like with the retro ones, like they were like 105 or something like that.
Yeah, they were pretty common. Like you could actually go and put like about
you could go buy them and stuff. But see, I told you, like, there's certain shoes that you could go buy like weeks and weeks because nobody was spending that much money on shoes. You know what I'm saying? The economy, you remember when the economy was so bad, people weren't buying shoes. But it just some way, somehow, it was a surge of money within the United States and other places where people just start spending $4, $5, $6, $7. Now, certain shoes value up to $800, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. $5,000 shoes. Like I know the Nike Mags. I know somebody told me, I just met the other day, the Air Mags from Back to the Future.
Yeah, I remember they did them for like $10,000 at one point. It was like an auction or something.
An auction. A guy I know I met out here, he said he spent $6,000 on the shoe. And he was like, man, I don't even like them. And I'm like, man, he spent, that's how much money is in the sneakers. He spent this was recently. He spent a common person, not no athlete, not no actor, not no anybody. This shoe was, he spent $6,000 on the Nike Air Max.
So what's the most you've ever spent on a pair of shoes or a pack or whatever it is?
The most I paid, I think, was $500. That's the most I paid. That's the most I paid on a shoe.
And what shoe was that?
Shoot, I paid $500 for. That actually, I lied. I paid $500 for a pack. So that's pretty much. And but see, I'm gonna tell you one thing though. I've got so many deals from like the sneaker game, just because like I knew a lot of people, and like I just know how to like talk to people, and I know how to, you know what I'm saying, get it. Like I just always had something where somebody wanted. So I think I paid $500 for that Defining Moment package right there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that shoe was going for like, the pack was going probably for like $1,200. So, and a guy, he had doubles of the shoe, and he called me up, and I was like, yo, I'll buy it. And then, yeah, man, that's really it. So yeah, I think the most, and I think singly, I spent $350. I think I spent $350, $375 on these shoes right here, which are like not very common. Whatever, you won't see that many people with them.
Yeah, I noticed you had them on at the sneaker convention.
Yeah,
everybody was trying to buy them.
Everybody trying to buy them. Yeah, these are the Lightning 4s, man. They were supposed to release, the rumor to release, such and such. They still haven't released. So like now people, trying to buy them and stuff like that. And I think I paid $350, $375 for those, which was a good price because I think they were going for like $700, $800. I had people offer me $700, $800 for them. So, yeah, man. But that's just the sneaker game, man. It's just pretty much in like a brief summary of it, man. But it goes deeper, man. The relationships and stuff that you will meet within the sneaker game, man, it's tremendous, dog. Tremendous.
All right, I got one more question. I guess it's gonna take it like a little darker tone towards all this. I noticed a lot of people lately have been dying over shoes, and so I just wanted you to speak on that real quick. You being the sneakerhead in the community right now. How do you feel about people getting shot and killed over a pair of shoes? And then Wale just did that video, showing like stuff like this happen in like real life.
Man, I'm gonna put it like this: it ain't a shoe alive worth anybody's life. And that's just point blank, period. It ain't a shoe alive that's worth anyone, a kid, losing their life over. It's just not. It's not, man. And like certain situations like that, like I know, like when, like I know, like it was times, bro, where like I knew like it was a certain shoe that I want, but I knew I probably was going out of town, and I would think, okay, I'm gonna send my girlfriend at town, whatever, hey, to go grab the shoe for me. But I was like, no, I'm not even gonna put her in that situation because I know how it is out there, man. Like I know how I've seen situations where mamas be out there and they getting pushed over when they open the door and they running through the mall. I've seen people fall over. I've seen people drop wallets. I've seen people. So many things happen. Like so, I was like, I never wanted to put her in that situation. Like I know good and well my mom wasn't ever gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I was way older then, but like I see like the younger generation of kids, their mama go out and get the shoes for them, a stand in line for them. Like I just never wanted. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to put any of them in that situation because. Like, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've been at some of the worst releases. I remember before I even moved to Atlanta, the Galaxy phone release, man, probably was the craziest phone release I've seen over at South Lake Mall ever. I remember when that shoe came out All-Star Weekend, like, they shut the whole in Orlando, man. Those shoes didn't release. Like, they didn't even release. They didn't even have a release date because they ended up having to push the release and release them on a random day because it was so crazy. People were so hyped out there, man. I think, like, that was probably, like, the worst release I ever seen in my life. So I just said I never was going to send anybody, any loved one of mine out to get no shoe unless it was me, myself getting it. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to protect yourself, man, because like I said, and I'll say this again, it ain't no pair of sneakers or tennis shoes worth anybody's life, man. And I think it's sad that you got to watch your back, man. It's just, I think it's real sad. I mean, that's just the nature and society we live in that, you know what I'm saying, people dying over sneakers, man. Like, and it's sad. It's sad.
Well, I appreciate you taking that time to speak on that for a minute. Because, I felt like that's really important that people know. Like,
man, it's very important, man.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it at all, man. Like, it ain't worth it at all. Like, no, it's not. No shoe. And I love shoes just as much as anybody. Like, and like, I got a bunch of shoes, but I got friends, man, that they got way more shoes than I do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I know how it is, and we all talk about that same thing. It ain't worth it, man. Like, it ain't worth it. Like, I've been in lines where people pulling guns. Like, I've been in those situations, man, where like I'm like, yo, I gotta take a step back. Well, because people be like, yo, they'll just like I remember like one instance, man. I'm gonna just wrap this up right quick. But I remember being in line for a shoe, and these dudes came, and they had guns, and they was like walking to the front. They just got there. It was a long line. They flashing the gun pretty much. Like, yo, what you gonna say to me? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know but you don't know if they just bluffing. You don't know anything. So at the end of the day, you don't want to take that chance. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to take that chance. So sometimes you be like, yo, just go. You got it, my dog. You got it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just move over, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it at all.
USFJ Rain signing out, editor-in-chief. Wrapping it up with at SneakerQue. Y'all go follow him. Sneaker issue dropping soon. Anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the sneaker community, man. Shout out to all my boys, man, that's in the sneaker community. Like, you know, it's a big community, man. Cats out in LA, New York, Atlanta, South Carolina, you know, Team SC, everybody, man. Like, it's a big thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, man, when people can come together and collect shoes, man, you know, because it could be a lot worse. Like, I tell people, like, yo, why you got so many shoes? Why you buy shoes? I'm like, yo, like, I'd rather spend my money on shoes than drugs, you know? So it's a parallel, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'd rather spend my money on, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I don't drink or anything like that. So, like, I look at it like this. I tell people, like, yo, why are you spending $50, $60 on a bottle of liquor? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather take that money and spend that on shoes, you know, and it's just me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So, everybody got their own little thing where they like, you know what I'm saying? Just me, I love sneakers, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it, man.
Hey, Mop Magazine, signing up.
SneakerQue.